On the last day we have discussed just about introduction towards formation of ionic and covalent bond. Now today we will discuss a little bit more about it. First of all, ionic compounds by the formation of ionic bonds. For the formation of ions or ionic bonds, there must be two ions, one cation and one anion. Now I have told that generally the metals form the cations, means positive ion. So let's take one example of one metal, sodium. We know that the atomic number of sodium is 11, so number of electrons will also be 11. Now how these electrons are arranged? In the K shell there are 2 electrons, in the L shell there are 8 electrons, in the M shell there is only 1 electron. Here you see the diagram, 2 electrons in the K shell, 8 electrons in the L shell and M electron in the outermost shell. So if I take out this electron from its outermost shell, the configuration will become thus. In the outermost shell there will be 8 electron, so it will become a stable configuration. Now here in this case you see 11 electrons with total minus 11 charge, minus 1 for each electron. At the center there are 11 protons. So adding these two opposite charges, the net charge is 0. Now if I take away this electron from its outermost shell, the total number of electrons will be 10. With each charge with minus 1, the net charge will be plus 1, minus 10 for 10 electrons and plus 11 for 11 protons, and it will become plus 1 charge. With this plus 1 charge, it is written as Na plus, means sodium ion or cation. Now let's take another side with a non-metal. We have discussed that generally the non-metals form anions or negative charge. Chlorine with 17 electrons with electronic configuration 2 in 8 and 7. Here you see 2, 8 and 7. Now if I add here only one electron, it will become 8 electrons in its outermost shell and it will be a stable configuration. Now before adding one electron, the total number of electrons was 17. With minus 1 charge with each of them, total charge was minus 17 for 17 electrons and plus 17 for 17 protons. Net result is 0. Now if I add one electron with minus 1 charge, the net total negative charge will be minus 18. The proton is remaining same, so the net charge of the chlorine will become minus 1. So it is written as this way, Cl minus, or it is called an anion. Now what happens to this electron of sodium? This will move away and easily be induced here in the outermost shell of chlorine. So by this way they join their hands, formation of a bond called, this is called ionic bond, and by this way the compound form is called ionic compound. Now coming to the second point, covalent bond. Covalent bond is possible where electron transfer is not possible. For example, carbon having 6 electrons, so 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So we cannot give 4 electrons, nor we can induce 4 electrons in each. So what happens? I have drawn this diagram, carbon having 4 electrons in its outermost shell. Now comes hydrogen with 1 electron in its shell. Now hydrogen also cannot release or accept 1 electron as it is having atomic number 1. So what hydrogen can do? It can only share only 1 electron with its carbon electron. So by this way 4 hydrogen atom comes here and share their electron with carbon. Now this bond formed by this way of sharing is called the covalent bond, and the compound formed methane is called covalent compound. Similarly, here you see oxygen having two electrons in its outermost shell. It cannot give away or accept electron. Like that way, methane formation, two hydrogen atom comes closer to oxygen and share its electron with oxygen. So by this way, the compound thus formed is called a covalent compound named water.